And thanks for joining us. I'm Ben Hoover. Dozens of community members in Lawrence County gathered to pray and remember the life of Brantley Smith. Investigators say the little boy was molested, brutally beaten, and murdered. Tonight, the 2-year-old's mother, Jessica Smith, and her boyfriend, William Looper, will stay in jail charged in the toddler's death. We start tonight with Stephanie Borman. She spoke to the boy's father at an emotional gathering tonight. Bond was denied for both Looper and Jessica Smith. A judge will decide if the other children will stay with the state or live with a family member. All new at 10, Lawrence County deputies have charged a Fountain Inn man with murder after a woman was found dead on Tullington Drive. The woman had been shot. Investigators say her boyfriend, 34-year-old Anthony Garcia, is responsible. He was found soon after he drove off in the woman's car. Garcia is in the Johnson Detention Center. Police in Asheville are investigating a shooting that left a 12-year-old child dead. It happened overnight around 3 a.m. at Lee Walker Heights. Officers arrived and found 2 teenagers with gunshot wounds. Both of them went to a hospital. The 12-year-old died. His name has not been released. The 18-year-old was treated and should be okay. There are no arrests and no suspects yet. If you know what happened, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers or Asheville Police. An Anderson County deputy was involved in a crash on I-85 this afternoon. It happened around mile marker 9 heading south. Troopers say the sheriff's unit was heading left of the interstate into the emergency lane when a pickup hauling a trailer hit the deputy's car in the back corner. It then came back into the road, clipped another vehicle, jackknifed, then went off the road. The deputy inside the car went to the hospital with minor injuries. Troopers say the driver of that pickup was driving too fast for conditions. Greenville County deputies are still investigating a shooting and an armed robbery. Officers responded to the 600 block of Whitehorse Road around 7:30 last night. When they got there, someone had been shot at least once in the parking lot, and the victim should be okay. The 2 suspects, both men, left in a dark green Honda with paint peeling from the hood. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. A Simpsonville church held its first services today since its building was damaged by fire last week. Bible Baptist Church shared these photos with us today. The service was held inside a hall just behind the church building. The fire on Wednesday damaged part of the building's insulation. Investigators say nearly everything in the pastor's office and financial office were a total loss. Church leaders say that they will rebuild, and Simpsonville police are still looking into the possibility that someone set the fire. Neighbors in a Boise, Idaho apartment are in shock after police say a man with a knife stabbed several people, including children, at a child's birthday party. The apartment complex is the home to many refugee families. Kim Hutcherson reports that investigators are now looking for a motive. All new, Greenville County deputies are investigating a shooting and an armed robbery. They got the call around 7:30 tonight in the 600 block of Whitehorse Road. When they got there, someone had been robbed and shot at least once in that parking lot there. Deputies say the victim was taken to the hospital and will be okay. There are 2 suspects tonight. One is a man in his late 20s with a gray tank top and black pants. The other is a man in his mid to late 20s wearing a black t-shirt with color graphics. The 2 left in a dark green Honda with paint peeling from the hood. If you see them or you see that car, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers immediately at 23 Crime. A man is dead and 2 others are in the hospital after a car crash in Oconee County. It happened on Stamp Creek Road near Flagship Drive just after 2 today. 3 people were in a pickup when it ran off the road, hit a ditch, and overturned. The driver and 1 passenger were thrown from the truck. That passenger died on the way to the hospital. The coroner identified him as 59-year-old Steve Henry Osby of Seneca. The 16-year-old driver was cited for speeding. A Blacksburg man died hours after a single car crash in Cherokee County. It happened just before 3 Friday afternoon on Legan Drive. Troopers say the car was traveling west when the driver ran off the road, hit a ditch, a utility pole, and then flipped. 40-year-old Knox Douglas Hambright Jr. was taken to the hospital and died. Troopers say the driver was not wearing a seatbelt. The coroner says speed is believed to have led to the crash. Well, a boil water advisory is still in effect for some neighbors in Tryon tonight. That advisory is for those living in the area of Jervey Road, Caledonia Road, Ergle Road, and West Lakeshore Drive. You should boil your water for at least 1 minute before you use it. Protesters gathered in hundreds of cities across the nation denouncing President Trump's immigration policy that separated families. Kenneth Craig was at one large gathering in New York City.